So, I guess we'll start out with like the basics. When did you start playing guitar?
1985.
1985?
Yes.
Was there anything that made you get into playing guitar? Like, was there a band that you heard where you were like, fuck yeah?
Yeah, Judas Priest, Screw You for Vengeance. I actually had a physical reaction to that record. You know, some people have the reaction where like the hair stands on end, that kind of thing. You listen to the opening of that record, the song's called The Hellion/Electric Eye. It was literally the most powerful piece of music I'd ever heard in my life. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, that's incredible. Next thing you know, they're like my favorite band.
So, everyone knows you for the recording and stuff that you do. When did you transition into that, you know? From just like playing to like being like, I want to record and learn how to mix and master and produce and blah, blah, blah.
That was probably my second year of college. I was actually working on a music video, and we were working on a song that my band was doing, and I wasn't happy with the mix, how it was going, and I talked to my buddy who was an audio major, and I'm like, hey, do you mind if I take a crack at mixing that? He's like, fuck yeah, go for it. So I sat down, and it's just kind of like, this goes here, you know, did a few tweaks, and the guy's like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, I don't know, it just kind of made sense.
You just had like a gift for it right away.
Yeah, recording came really easy.
That's awesome.
So that was one thing that was kind of cool.
When did you decide you wanted to like get into YouTube with it? How did you figure out what you wanted to do? Were you like, I want to get on YouTube, but I don't know what I want to do? Or were you like, more people need to learn how to record correctly?
Well, yeah, that was exactly it. I mean, like, I tell this story a lot, and it came back to, in the late 90s when I had opened my studio, I was doing a little piece. I wanted to do a 10-point lesson on getting a band ready for the studio. I wrote about 6 parts of it, and I never finished it. Cue, you know, to like 2014, summer, or 2013 it would have been, and I see the band's still making the same mistakes. Nobody's learned.
Yep.
No matter how much I beg, nobody learns. There's no improvement being made. Everybody still wants to fuck up their records in exactly the same way. So I had actually paid my mortgage off. Okay, so I thought, okay, I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to say exactly what I want. If it tanks my business, so be it. So I did How to Get Your Band Ready for the studio, because I figured instead of writing something down, I could just make a YouTube video and hopefully everybody can share it and whatnot. And this was actually on the Andy Steve forum, and it was great because I released it, and half the guys on the Andy Steve forum were like, "You're gonna ruin your business. You're gonna put yourself out of business. You can't do that." And I'm like, nah, well, my house is paid for. Fuck it. What are they gonna do? Fire me? You know? Yeah. So we put that out, and then it just blew up. And then the other half of the guys were like, "Do more."
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know what to say, you know? It's like I kind of said what I wanted to. I remember, you know, we went down to Memphis to check out a blues band just on the street and whatnot. And there's the singer. I'm like, you fucking moron. I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't matter what genre it is. Singers don't know how to hold microphones. I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm going to do. And I remember that this is where it clicked, though. It's because my buddy's like, what's going on with your YouTube channel? I'm like, I don't know. He says, well, you're getting real traction, man. And I'm like, I don't know what to say next. I remember I went to a buddy of mine's film career, and he did a documentary on the whole history of the Windsor-Detroit music scene. It's called the Border City Music Project. It's free on YouTube. You should check it out. It's really cool. They were talking about, in this whole section, about rebels and how rebels, you know, kind of create their own thing. I got one line in that movie, and I said, wow, I got rid of auto-tune in my studio. I won't use it anymore because I'm sick of hearing it. And the theater went insane. Everybody just lost their fucking minds at that. And I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm going to do. So if I hadn't gone to that premiere, there wouldn't have been Spectre Sound. So I thank my friend John Gillies, the director, for putting me in that, because I was like, okay, I got to say like literally the coolest thing in that movie. Yep. I started 1 a week, and then, you know, by that February, I moved up to 3 a week. And it's just been going.
That's so insane to me, 3 videos a week.
It's a lot of work.
Sorry, guys. I'm never going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. There's just so much to be done.
Oh my God,
I've still got a mile-long list of episode ideas.
Yeah, I believe that. That's one thing I've noticed is we all just kind of have like, I mean, except me, sometimes I have lists, but not often. I never check them when
You have to write them down first, Sarah.
Is everybody has like 35 plus videos, like they just like, well, I'm just going to pick one from my list. I'm like, you have a list?
Yes, of course.
So yeah, that's awesome.
You have to have a list. I mean, like, so the one day when you wake up, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm just going to, okay, I can do that today. Let's do that. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you have any like advice for people that are starting out? Because a lot of people, you know, YouTube is just like getting bigger, and it's almost taking the way of TV in some forms. Like Netflix and other streaming services are you know, TV's dying out. We're all just doing stuff on the internet. So a lot of people want to move into that now because they're seeing it as like a viable career option.
I cut the cord last July, actually, so I haven't seen a TV commercial since July, and it's been great. You know, it's just basically Netflix or YouTube. That's it.
I've never owned a TV, so for me, like, I totally.
You don't really strike me as a big TV person.
Yeah, I just like passed that whole thing. But I think like generationally too, if I watch something, it's just on my computer.
Okay, that's cool. So, any advice? Well, first and foremost, do stuff. Get out there and actually do it. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. I've seen friends of mine come up with some great ideas for YouTube shows, and they have page after page after page of plans that never happen.
Yep.
Don't make plans. Write down like a basic outline on a page. Do a treatment. But you don't need to write a fucking novel, because guess what? You're going to spend your time writing that fucking novel and not shooting YouTube. Just fucking shoot something. Even if it sucks, okay? We all have to suck at something before we get good at it. You're going to have detractors, that's fine. But if you have a vision, set yourself some realistic goals and go for it.
And I think that's like such an important thing. When they're thinking about getting into something, they're so scared of failure. They're like, well, but what if this happens? Or like, what if they hate it? Or what if I get tons of horrible comments? That is going to happen. Like,
yes,
you just have to embrace that, like right off the bat. Like most people are going to hate you and the thing you're doing. Your ears are too big, or you're sitting a weird way, or you're not looking at the camera right. Like people are going to do that forever. But all of that like just forces you to keep doing it and keep like. You know, plowing through it, and you learn every time.
Like here's a great example. I don't know if you ever seen Christian Bay on my show. He's a guitar player. He's a brilliant guitar player, and he concentrates very hard on his playing. So he's very expressionless. So the only thing people can do is bitch about the way he looks when he plays.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, he needs to play with more feel. It's like, shut the fuck up! Seriously, yeah.
Yes.
Feel is something there's no metric for. But that's the only thing they can bitch about. Oh well, I don't like the way he looks. Because he does kind of look like Kylo Ren. So my advice,
with that.
Get up off your ass and go do something. Don't be one of the people who bitch.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sitting down and chatting with me. It's been awesome.
It's been awesome.
Happy I got to interview you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. That's fucking great.
Yeah, so if you want to check out Glenn's channel, I'm going to link it in the description below.
You mean Derek's going to link it because you're going to forget?
You're not wrong. Also, I have to plug this because I'm me, and so I started a Patreon finally, like 5 years too late, and I'm also going to link that in the description below. Yeah. So if you want to help me out,
what's it called? Send money to Sarah?
The Sarah Longfield charity.
Right
yeah,
on.
Links for everything, and then in the description.
Okay, there we go. Well done.
Words.
Okay, so we're out of here.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, you too.
Hopefully I didn't knock you off your chair.